Bren, I gotta say, I'm kind of envious of that desk. I don't feel like we could roll up our sleeves like that and pull it off. They're just more manly than we are.
I mean, I know the weather's good in Colorado, but I mean, sun's out, guns out, guys. What's going on the desk, lads? Come on, sort it out. Puckett's the only one with any sense, you know. But no, we're moving into this first map. It's going to be Nepal, Bazooka Puppiez versus Cloud9. The Analysts desk talked to death about the different changes and whatnot. Bazooka Puppiez, they brought in Nesh, who we're expecting to be a massive upgrade over Kenzie. Is this going to be the key PCP? Is this what they needed to just slot themselves in and rocket themselves into a playoff spot?
I think of any piece Bazooka Puppiez needed to upgrade, it's very arguable that that was the one piece they needed to get in, where Kenzie was having a very rough Contenders heading into this. And Nesh, we know he can have a very impactful tracer. We've seen him have great tracer performances both in high-level competitive games and also in events like the Overwatch World Cup. So I do think that if there's any hope for Bazooka Puppiez, it would be in this upgrade at the hit scan slot.
Well, we also see Sinatra, who was playing for Cloud9 in the previous week, will be being replaced by Mikey A for now. Mikey, as he likes to be known, or just Michael Adams. God's gift to Welsh esports, as I like to call him.
You know, we can't steal that from Finland. Like, I'm actually just going to veto that.
Yeah, well, he's not Finnish, you know? He's God's gift to Wales as a country.
I'm just saying, I think Finland gets to keep that meme. I think you have to come up with your own UK flavor.
It's been butchered time and time again. It's been used for every pro player under the sun. We're going to let Michael Adams off for now.
Yeah, for now. But as we take a look here, interestingly enough, we're setting up here on Nepal into the Sanctum, and we thought Nesh should be coming in as Tracer, but he's going to be a little bit more in the back line, just giving reliable damage as Soldier, and in fact, this is going to leave Mikey as the only Tracer in play.
Interesting stuff indeed. We're going to see them trying to initiate in, meeting each other head on, straight off the bat, not messing around on the pole, soaking up the damage. Space could be trying to basically eat up as much of it as he possibly can. And right now it's Cloud9 with the positioning advantage. Bazooka Puppiez forced into the corner, mainly as a result of their composition, but Nesh, he gets the entry onto Nevix. That could be big.
That is very big right now. That changes the dynamic of the fight entirely. Bazooka Puppiez, now they can move forward. C9 can't control space they were looking for, and Nesh has already made his mark here. Big damage coming in from the back, good pickoffs, and that leads Bazooka Puppiez to getting the first point.
Yeah, straight off the back, all you need is that initial entry pick, and you can afford to take the positioning from them by force. Now we see Cloud9 on the back foot to a degree. They don't really have anything to work with ultimate-wise, but they're looking to try and find a positioning. You know, Mikey A is going to be searching around the flanks, while the rest of the Cloud9 squads are going to be searching to move up this left-hand side and meet them head-on, and there you go, there you have it. Once again, Nevix with the Helix Rocket finds the entry, but Rubicon, he answers back with the Transcendence.
Bazooka Puppiez, they double down here. They're down one player, so they invest ultimate to try and even it up. And they do get Gray, so this decision by Rubicon so far has been okay. But Bazooka Puppiez get poked down, the barrier comes in, and C9 is now able to flip this right back in their favor.
That was just a classic maneuver right there. I mean, Bazooka Puppiez opted to really just, as you mentioned, throw all of their ultimates in, doubling down, using the Dragon Blade on the side of Ube to try and win that fight one out. But at the end of the day, all Cloud9 needed to do was rotate around. That's all they did, was rotate onto the point, play the ring around the Rosie's game with them, and now they've got 5 ultimates online to work with.
This is really big for C9, where Bazooka Puppiez, they invested a bit to try and hold on. It didn't work out. Now they have to break the fortress of C9 ultimates. And now you take a look at Mikey, in along the backside. Pulse Bomb ready, does it stick? No, it's way off target. And Rubicon will shake the pressure for now.
All right, force out the sound barrier for now. Both these teams falling reasonably low, but Nevix again, he brings down Ube with the Helix Rockets. He's been on point with this so far in this first round, but the self-destruct will force the positioning for the time being. Does bring down Gray. The point almost capped up here, but it's going to get contested as we see Nevix trying to counteract it with the tactical visor.
Both soldiers having everything in their sights, but he didn't see the gorilla in his face, knocking him to the wall. Bazooka Puppiez taking good advantage. Nesh still very much alive, and he is in a good cleanup position now to tear through C9. Bazooka Puppiez are firing right back.
Absolutely. Getting that recap. How astonishing is this? Because Cloud9 committed every single ultimate they had and still ended up losing the fight. That is phenomenal by Bazooka Puppiez. This is a turnaround that I personally was not expecting from this squad. I thought this was going to be a very one-sided engagement, but now Cloud9, they have the sound barrier. The Dragon Blade by Ube is going to be trying to force them out. The sound barrier only connects onto 2 players here, ZP.
And Ube into the back line. will be supported by the Transcendence as Bazooka Puppiez, they don't overdive here, Bren. They're okay with getting an early pickoff and then just holding their ground. And why shouldn't they be? They're at 75%. It's C9 that now has to make a move, and they're going to have to do this without much ultimate power early on. A very mechanics-based fight, but one where Bazooka Puppiez will have the positioning edge.
This is it. They need to use raw mechanical skill to try and overcome this one. Cloud9 trying to brute force their way through this left-hand side. Nevix eating a lot of damage. His team trying to play him. Mazaza finds it now. The tactical visor will be built up here by Nevix as he tries to bring down Meza into the back lines. Will collect that kill, finds another one. And with this, it should be, even with the overtime ticking down, Cloud9 getting the capture point.
C9 able to reestablish control, but they still need to look to win not one, but likely two fights here. Bazooka Puppiez, they have an edge both in progress and in resources, and Rubicon not getting picked off there is big. Now he gets to heal up Bren, and the Puppies are off the chain.
Now, Puppies have got ultimates to use, ZP. That's what they've got. They've got a sound barrier, Psycho Waffle. Can you look to initiate in? But Cloud9, if they play this smart, if they rotate around their Transcendence and sound barrier, this could be golden for them. Pulse Bomb comes out. Mikey A collects the kill onto Nesh. The sound barrier by Bazooka Puppiez tries to stall this one out. Now the blade by Ube ZP as he tries to collect the kills.
And that Mikey sets C9 up with a great positioning here. The blade is late from Ube, not able to get what he's looking for, and that's what C9 is needed from Mikey all round long. They weren't getting the beginning, but they got it when it mattered. C9 able to take this first round, but not without significant pressure from the Puppies, where Nesh does feel like he's reinvigorated this team a bit.
It was a close round, definitely, without a shadow of a doubt. But I gotta say, off the back of it, Mikey A turning up, like you mentioned, when he was needed, getting the pulse bomb, and out of all the targets, Nesh was probably one of the most important ones because he had the tactical visor available to them. That one ultimate ability can completely turn around fights. Taking Nesh out of the fight that early, especially as we've been bigging up Nesh massively as this star player for Bazooka Puppiez is going to be solving their problems. It was absolutely huge for them. Now, second round, ZP, what are we looking at?
Well, we are seeing a change here. Nesh is going from the Soldier to the Tracer, where this round on the Paul is much more skirmishy than, of course, the Sanctum is. We are heading into the Shrine, where a Tracer has plenty of room to dart in and around. And one thing to note here, Nesh got the first kill for Bazooka Puppiez. You didn't see Kenzie doing that often for them, so we'll see if Nesh can repeat things here as both teams get into the fray.
Ube's eating a lot of damage straight off the bat. In fact, Mendez is almost demeched. In fact, he is. That is a big pickup for them. Mikey A finding that one for the kill. Nevix again with the follow-up this time, as you mentioned, made the switch to the Genji role, and it will be Cloud9 winning the initial fight and getting the initial cap.
C9, nothing too fancy there. They focused down the tanks of Bazooka Puppiez, got them out of the fight, and then with no more frontline, the Bazooka Puppiez had no choice but to back out. However, they didn't come without getting at least a little bit in return. Nesh is going to have his pulse bomb up for this next fight, and we'll see if he can get an early opening pick that would put the Puppies in a good positioning here.
That is the man to watch at this stage in the game. There's no real massive ultimates to use to try and win these team fights. Again, it's going to be the big plays from the pulse bombs that count. See the back lines, they do bring down Zaza, maybe bit off a little bit more than he could chew there. He will be falling, and with that initial pick, I mean, right now, all they need to do is Bazooka Puppiez be on cleanup duty, find the follow-up kills, and the cap does go their way.
So what we saw there was an opposite of the very first fight in the round, where very first fight of the round, what did C9 do? They isolate out Mete and Meza, took them down. What do we see in the second fight? Mauzasa goes a little bit too deep, and the same thing happens to C9, where they lose their Winston D.Va early on. So far, the key to victory in this round has been isolating the tanks from the other team, getting them out of the fight early, and then just doing easy cleanup. I'm curious to see if we see any adjustments here, as now C9 is rolling right back in.
Absolutely, want to move in. The sound barrier was committed here. Nevik still holding on to his own Dragon Blade, as well as Ube now opting to use it, slicing through them, through the opposition, gets the D-Mech, follows it up with enough damage done, but is it going to be beautiful for him? Possibly. I mean, Mete's following up with the kills of his own. Mikey A still trying to make it work, but will get beat down by Meza with the Primal Raging Monkey in his face.
Nesh right now, one of the last few people up here for the Bazooka Puppies, but C9, they are bloodied. They can't easily get full control of the point right now. Bazooka Puppies still have control, and now reinforcements are coming in. So even though Psycho Waffle's taken down into the back line, there's still the possibility the Puppies at least delaying this out for a little bit longer.
What a bizarre fight, because that was looking so even throughout this entire engagement, and right now it is going to be Cloud9 that are battering them back to a degree, but still being contested. Mete is in the corner, defense matrix up. He will be de-mech'd and de-suited and eventually brought down, buying enough time for his team to get it up to about 70% in counting, but they're still not getting this cap. Finally, they flip it over for them. But Cloud9, look at this CP. They've got the Transcendence. Neptuno almost with the ultimate of his own. Mikey A is also going to be the man to watch with that Pulse Bomb. Anytime they buy here is going to be crucial.
It will indeed, and I think a key thing for Bazooka Puppiez is that Psycho Waffle does need to stay alive. He's had some early deaths in the last few fights. By right, he should have a barrier up now and doesn't. He's about to get it up finally, but they can't engage with it here. They're going to saunter onto the point from the back, and they have to play it slow until that barrier's up, but C9 doesn't give them the time.
Okay, Mikey A ends up falling in the end to Psycho Waffle, but Cloud9 still going to be answering back with the kills of their own. Ults to use, but still holding on to them. Now we see him finally the Dragon Blade by Ube. Tries to make it work, but he's so weak, just getting pressured down. One Shuriken from Nevix will finish him off, and with that, the fight is won in favor of Cloud9.
I like the Dragon Blade from Ube there, even though it didn't get any kills. It did cause Neptuno to drop the barrier. Now Bazooka Puppiez has a really nice setup for the next fight where it's 2 support ultimates to 0. So long as no one gets picked off early here, Bren, they have a really good shot of turning this to their favor.
It's got to be good ult usage coming out by Bazooka Puppiez to try and win this round. They need to try and cycle and chain up their support ultimates. They initiate in. Psycho Waffle goes for the Soundbar in the back lines and the Transcendence. That's forced early by the Dragon Blade. That could be critical.
Now Nevix, Dragon Blade put away, but damage already done. Meza out of the fight, 6v5 for the Puppies. Rubicon in rough shape, and yet still somehow alive, but not for long. Gray finishing it, and now C9 on cleanup duty. They are throwing the Puppies off of the point right now, and now C9. They've brought this one back again, where both rounds, they got into the hole, but they dug themselves out of that hole. Yeah. And as a result, they're going to be taking map number 1.
And that last initial fight, it will be, Cloud9 winning map number 1, but I just got to mention, that last fight was entirely won just by Nevix using that Dragon Blade and forcing out the Transcendence. Rubicon didn't have a choice. If he didn't pop it off, he was going to die, but the fact that they waited and played that fight a little bit awkwardly, using the Soundbar a little bit too early, meant that it was just Cloud9's fight to win as they had the superior ult advantage.
It is worth knowing, though, that in the lead up to that, it should have been Bazooka Puppies' fight to win because they had double support ultimates versus Zilch on the side of C9. That is usually in control, an advantage that will give you a fight, even if you are facing, say, a Dragon Blade. However, Nevix applied early pressure. Bazooka Puppies lost their Winston early on in that fight, and then once you lose a player, the effect of support ultimates gets rather muted because instead of keeping your full team alive, you're now keeping 4 people alive instead of 5.
Would you say that's the sort of performance you were expecting from Bazooka Puppiez coming into this? Or were you expecting it to be a bit more? I mean, it was reasonably one-sided, but it definitely was close in the side of Bazooka Puppiez.
I thought it would probably go down in that way because I do think Nesh has been a very big upgrade to this Bazooka Puppiez squad, as evidenced by the good plays he had there. I also think that even though Mikey had a good showing at the Overwatch World Cup, his Tracer play is not Sinatra level. I think historically you look at the players, Sinatra is a tier above Mikey. So C9 going to Mikey here, it is a bit of a downgrade. So when you look at these swaps that have gone on, it does make for a scenario where it's a little bit closer than people might have expected.
Yeah, no, I'd agree 100% with that. I mean, even the analyst desk was making mention to it, the fact that Mikey A's never traditionally had these high performances online. To be fair to him, he has been playing with high ping when he was playing for FaZe Clan in the past. But at the World Cup, he did show that he is a star player that's very capable. But definitely, no, I agree. Sinatra is almost on a level above of a lot of Tracer players. The man is incredible at what he does. But we have the next map, CP. It's going to be King's Row that we're heading into. How do you feel like this favors up with these teams? Because King's Row is a map. Throughout this tournament, we've seen a lot of Reinhardt, we've seen a lot of Zarya, and a lot of Doomfist.
I feel like it favors C9. C9 of the two teams has definitely shown to have both stronger tank play and support play overall than what we've expected from Bazooka Puppiez. And King's Row is definitely a map where you can win at times even without having superstar DPS contributions, so long as your tanks are getting good engagements and your supports are using the terrain of the map well to stay alive. So I think the path to victory here for Bazooka Puppiez will be somewhat difficult because Nesh is really going to have to work hard to find a way to get into the backline to open things up, more so than he would on, say, other maps. But bear in mind, too, this is also Bazooka Puppiez' pick.
It is indeed. This is where they're feeling more confident, I suppose, when it comes to playing on this certain section. You can see the composition now coming out to play. And it is looking like dive from both these teams. Not messing around when it comes to that plays, at least. But one thing to note is Rubicon, is he going to be sticking to this Hanzo? Now, in a lot of cases, if you are an avid watcher of competitive Overwatch, you might notice that teams, they like to play Hanzo just initially to get a bit of vision, a bit of information. But King's Row is one of those maps where you can actually run almost full-time Hanzo all the time. Normally, however, it is in conjunction with Azaria, but let's see what Bazooka Puppiez want to do.
Well, I would be impressed if they did run a 3-2-1 setup with 3 DPS, 2 tanks, and 1 support. But I don't really think it's going to happen. I think Rubicon will just throw out a scouting arrow and then swap. But hey, you never know.
You never know.
We could get a surprise, but no. He just threw out the Sonic arrow there, the scout, and then quickly swaps his Zenyatta. Bazooka Puppiez offense now underway.
I mean, the sort of compositions we've been seeing with the introduction of Doomfist, you wouldn't be surprised to see sort of these solo supports Hanzo compositions really in this day and age. But as you mentioned, the teams are now starting to butt heads a little bit around this statue and seeing if they can get that initial pick. They're just waiting for the right call, waiting for the right dive target, waiting for the opportunity. That bio grenade though, that is big because it's forced them back out of the fight.
Bazooka Puppiez now have to take a breather. They need to back out just a little bit. They're very much damaged, more so than C9, and yet they double down. They go in deeper. Will it pay off? Not quite. They were a little bit too low, and C9 simply had the health advantage there to hold on strong to the back. However, Nesh is still a threat here, darting in and around, and respawn advantage is with the Bazooka Puppiez, so C9 can't really rest easy here.
Important to note that Mete is demeched right now, but as it stands, you're lacking that defense matrix. It's a bit of a difficult scenario. Finally, he's going to get his mech back, but Cloud9, they go for the tempo play. They're going to be using the nano boost there onto Malzaza as he tries to pick up the kill with the post bomb. The Primal Rage in the nick of time. That will force out Bazooka Puppiez to use their own Transcendence to try and match this one man for man.
Well, the Transcendence and Ube slammed into the wall, the blade beaten down by Mozasa quite literally as C9, though damaged, holding strong right now. All members still alive in this fight. And Bazooka Puppiez, they invested a lot for nothing now.
Yeah, they did indeed, and they're not even going to get literally this point. I mean, Nesh is still playing in the back lines, but he realizes, you know, it's futile. He needs to be playing with the rest of his team. He chooses to reset and give Neptuno the kill. Now, Bazooka Puppiez, they used a lot of stuff there. I mean, you mentioned it briefly, and Cloud9, they're sitting on quite a tasty set of ultimates here. Gray, almost with the nano boost. We saw them went for the tempo nano boost play, using it on Mauzaza. I could honestly, realistically see that again, because they've got nothing to sort of peel for it.
Why not make Mauzaza the point of focus here? It makes sense with how he's playing. For now, he's going to leap back after a little bit of pressure, but look at the flank. Both flankers from C9 coming in on the outside, getting Bazooka Puppiez in the hotel. There it is! The pulse bomb taking down 2. Mikey striking in deeply.
And that was looking good for Bazooka Puppiez, but Mikey A says, you know what, lads, step back. Let me show you how it's done. Picks up the 2K, even the kills in the back line. Again, he's on cleanup duty. Let's take a look at this, hopefully from the Mikey angle. Yes, indeed it is. And this is, look, just special delivery right into the back. That's what you want to see from your star player. For someone with big shoes to fill as well, given that he's replacing Sinatra.
All right, 47% right now for the Bazooka Puppiez is all they have. They're down to what is almost their final minute. And C9 controlling space awfully well right now. Nevix holding on to the blade, Bren, waiting for the dive so he can counter on his own. And now he goes in, the blade is out.
Oh, let's see if he gets the kill. That's actually incredible that he managed to get that out of Psycho Waffle somehow, even with the Transcendence on him. Just getting a single kill out of that is impressive enough. Still, the blade now going to be used by Ube, along with the self-destruct means that the kills and the positioning will be forced into Bazooka Puppiez's favor, but only temporarily. They answer back. Cloud9 on the move. Rubicon making a few flanking Zenyatta plays. Might have actually just stalled this into the side of Bazooka Puppiez's favor.
Bazooka Puppiez finally, mercifully breaking through what has been a remarkable C9 defense. C9 can be proud of that there, where they burned a lot of time off the clock. And frankly, Bren, you need that time to get through second and give yourself a little bit of buffer for last. So the idea that C9 could get a second point hold here isn't very far-fetched at all.
You might look at this time that they've got, you know, 2 minutes, 45 seconds, and think, you know, Bazooka Puppiez, they're not in a bad situation. But Cloud9, if they win even a single team fight here, that is when it's going to be the danger zone. Bazooka Puppiez need to move forward with momentum and style through the streets phase to try and have a chance of finishing out this map now. They do have ults to use, and let's see what they can do with them, ZP, as they look to engage.
Mikey right now staying with the team, finds a Winston just camping there in the corner. Of course, that's going to be Meza leaping away. The sound barrier is in now for the Bazooka Puppiez, but C9, it's a nice engage. Mikey from the back and turns Meza into a firework. In from the back line, makes it 2. A big flanking play from Mikey. setting the stage for a successful C9 defense.
We didn't mention it as well, but Nevix moving over to the Doomfist, this is going to be big because look at this, he's already built up the Meteor Strike, and that is exactly that last fight. Bazooka Puppies, they needed to win it. They committed a sound barrier towards it. They're in the danger zone. And now, in answer to the Doomfist, Mete, he moves over to the Zarya, realizes they need a bit more damage mitigation, a bit more of that peel with the Zarya shields, potentially even a Graviton Surge to work off, but it's going to be hard for them as Nevix, he leaps back, tries to stall it. Now here comes the Meteor Strike, lays it down. Will he collect the kills he's looking for? Not quite.
I was spreading my arms and everything. I was looking for Nevix to come in on high, but C9, they're still doing well enough. It does zone Bazooka Puppies away from the point. And again, Bazooka Puppies not able to crack the C9 defense. And going back to what we mentioned before, Bren, this is where you see the superiority of the C9 tank and support play right now, where it's not really the DPS players making hero plays, but their control from their tanks and supports is really doing wonders.
I gotta say, the rotations as well. Bazooka Puppies, what have they got to look for here? Ube with the Dragon Blade. That's their win condition in this next fight. If he picks up a kill onto the supports before Gray can get off the nano boost, it's going to be big for them. But Mikey A winning the 1v1 against Nesh of all people. Somehow finding it, and he's got a pulse bomb to boot here, ZP, just to finalize it if he so wishes.
Very good right now for for C9, but here come the Bazooka Puppies. Last gasp, moving in. 39 seconds, a Dragon Blade into the back line. Ube under pressure, but able to stay alive. And though it's a bit of a slop fest, it does appear like the Bazooka Puppies are finally getting their footing. And what's key to me here, Bren? Look at that Graviton.
Yeah, the Graviton Surge. That's what they need to really perform, but you know, he needs to ensure that it doesn't get ate up by space here with the defense matrix, but Mete is the man to watch. This Graviton Surge is either going to set them up for victory or defeat. A lot of plays on his shoulder, so to speak, and he's getting aggressive. He's waiting around the corner, ZP. He wants his team to shine, he wants them, and he's going aggressive with it.
The Graviton from around the corner catches them by surprise. It is big for the Bazooka Puppies. 3 kills off the grab, and the momentum now rolling right their way. We'll see if they can keep it going, as they do have both support ultimates up. They have tools here, Bren.
I'm a huge fan of that tempo sort of play with the Graviton Surge. Using it aggressively there. You know, Cloud9, they didn't have the players to really spot and scout that out. They weren't really recognizing that was a threat. In fact, Cloud9 thought they could probably re-engage around the corner, but now we see them. It's Cloud9's time to strike back. They have a few ults to use. Good fire grenade. They'll force it down to Ube. He will get healed up now, but Nevix moves up into the sky with the Meteor Strike, lays it down, and the sound barrier to boot. Cloud9 looking to pin them forward.
Psycho Waffle has not dropped the sound barrier here just yet. Bazooka Puppies, they might be retreating from this fight. They could have doubled down, but they decide not to. They're going to save that barrier, and instead let C9 back them out. That's an interesting call.
40 seconds, EP. Bazooka Puppies, they've got one opportunity. They've almost got the Dragon Blade, almost got the Pulse Bomb. What do you want to see from them coming from this now?
From the Bazooka Puppies, I want to see barrier into blade. I want to see Ube turn the C9 backline into Swiss cheese, but Psycho Waffle is down immediately. There will be no barrier, and the blade is unassisted.
It's all up to Ube to try and clutch this one out. He picks up, I believe, 3 kills with the help of his team, but is it going to be enough? Nevix is there, trying to answer him back, man to man. Eventually backing off. They played a point, 10 seconds remaining. Bazooka Puppies, they've got ults, but it's all up to Ube. He needs to come to this point, stop it from rolling forwards. He needs to play remarkably well. Cloud9, look at this. This is so patient by them. They're playing all the way back, almost in their own base.
Here come the Puppies now, Bren. The barrier is in. Their final attempt as overtime is upon us. No kills from the barrier here just yet, and instead it's Space dropping the boom from above. Now, 65 for C9, they start to take the assault. Moving on to the payload, pushing the Bazooka Puppies back, and Bren, they can't afford to give. They must stay on this payload.
They can't afford to lose even a single player here, ZP. As you mentioned, they need to stay on the payload here. Cloud9 answering them that, battering them back. Hardly any of them falling low at all. Now Rubicon, he's finally built up this Transcendence. Could be big for them if they keep them alive, but Cloud9 going to be using their sound barrier now to move it forward, and off the back of that, 3 kills just flowing for them, and it is looking like a dead push here for Bazooka Puppies. Ube does not manage to get the Dragon Blade off in time. And with that, will this be the finale? Nesh is trying to buy as much time as he possibly can for them, but again, too little, too late, and 2 rounds, 2 checkpoints. That's all Bazooka Puppies manages to claim.
I think what we're seeing here is a consistent theme. We like talking about the tanks, but let's go to the supports here for a moment, where it feels like any time there is a trade of support ultimates between Bazooka Puppies and C9, C9 is chaining their ultimates together better. they're having better counter support ultimates. And Bazooka Puppies oftentimes are not able to chain the ultimates together for whatever reason, or one guy gets picked off early, where they did have an opportunity there, right? Where they could have done Barrier Blade, and what happened? Psycho Waffle dies early, doesn't Barrier in time, and as a result, the Bazooka Puppies not able to really make the most of things.
You know, the analyst desk, they mentioned this. You know, I'm just going to bring it back to the points they were making about the statistics from Psycho Waffle. You can look at his statistics; they were honestly appalling. But I mean, back then, Bazooka Puppies were also playing quite badly, so you could kind of understand why, because it is hard to have good statistics on supports when the rest of your team is also playing badly. However, now that Nesh is sort of performing a bit more, Ube doesn't have to carry as much, the team as a whole is performing a lot better, Psycho Waffle cannot afford to be getting picked off as early into these fights, and it has been sort of paramount in Cloud9 winning a lot of these engagements.
So let's look at victory conditions here for Bazooka Puppies, where they have to have a better defense. They cannot let C9 go all the way to the end. And in fact, the most likely win condition, though we don't see it all that often, would be them coming out and having just a phenomenal first point hold. And to that point, we do see a Doomfist coming out here, where Doomfist has been a little bit better in giving teams more substantial first point defenses.
Now, this is a sort of classic sort of composition that we're seeing in King's Row a lot more often these days. Ube on the Doomfist, they're running the Reinhardt, they're running the Zarya, as you notice. If you're wondering why they're holding their shields up to the wall, it's actually so they can see around the corner, but we're just going to see a little pause, which again means that, unfortunately, you get to see our ugly mugs for a short time until we solve the technical difficulties. But regardless of that, moving into this, Bazooka Puppies, they pushed it, what, up to 2 checkpoints there. Cloud9 answering back. Is this their map to win now, or do Bazooka Puppies have a chance?
C9 is in a great position. Anytime you have a hold on last for King's Row, generally speaking, you're in a great spot to win, where because it's a map where teams do usually complete. You don't see the last point holds all that often unless there is a mismatch in skill.
Absolutely, yeah. And what interests me the most, I think, is the Reinhardt compositions that are being ran here. So on the one side, normally you see both teams sort of mirror match it, and in a lot of ways we've seen a lot of Reinhardt come out to play on King's Row, even when there's no Doomfist in play. That's one thing I've also noticed. But in this case, I believe, indeed they are, Cloud9 are just sticking with the traditional dive, sort of triple DPS even, of all the things against this composition, looking to sort of overcome them with just raw damage, raw willpower, just slamming into them. Do you agree with this, or do you feel like, you know, Cloud9, at the end of the day, Mozaza, he's not tested on Reinhardt, so you can kind of understand why they're not running this traditional composition. But do you agree with this? Do you feel like they should match them head-to-head with the Reins, or do you agree that Cloud9 should just stick with what they're comfortable with?
I think C9 can run whatever they want to run right now until Bazooka Puppies actually show that they can stop them consistently. Where, I mean, this is the key, right? Bazooka Puppies has to show that we're running this composition, it has the better of what you're running. C9 has gone away with doing pretty much whatever they want at points here, so I think for C9 this is fine. Personally, I'm more of a student of the go big or go home. I would love to see more of the 4 DPS, 1 tank, 1 support setups, where you have a Doomfist being played by one of your supports, because I just think it's hilariously entertaining and also very effective.
I'm so glad you're not coaching any teams right now as EP. You know, the meta would be developed. If you could have it your way, we'd be seeing all sorts, you know, all sorts of DPS heroes across the map. Dude,
if I could have it my way, I would be finding a way to run Bastion at all times. Not because I think it's good, but because I think that Bastion is a great hero that I'd love to see in a presidential suit.
Do you run Bastion in your pub games? In your rank games? You don't?
Oh, no. I would never do that.
You wouldn't affect them, but you'd affect the pro players.
Yes,
you make them run Bastion.
Like, no one's look, you're saying the stage saying I would be a good coach. I'm just running with it, saying like, yes, I will approve of your concept and make people run this.
You got the jacket for the coach. This is very much a spicy jacket. You know, the checkered going on. I like it. At least we've dressed up. The analyst desk. They've been slacking, man. What's going on with the shirt combo, guys? What's going on? Rolled up and whatnot? You know, at least we're arriving prepared for this.
I fully agree. I mean, they just thought that today was casual Saturday. I mean, I've never heard casual Saturday as a thing. I've heard casual Friday, but we only work on the weekends for the most part, so it does make one question.
I know, absolutely. But we're going to be going for the unpause fairly shortly, I believe, as the players are getting ready again, once again, moving into this match. But Cloud9 versus Bazooka Puppies are rolling into it. Cloud9 on the attack. And again, look at this. Mozaza just going to be entering with the Hanzo, giving a bit of vision for the team with the Sonic Arrows. You can see initially just slams it in there. But Cloud9 looking to take the route just here through the building section. Just going to be trying to play this dive composition to its fullest.
And C9 right now, this is what you need to do when you're running triple DPS, right? Where you need to play the corners. You don't go for the straight-up fight. You poke a team from all sides, and then once you get that first pickoff, that's when you really dive in for the kill. And Bazooka Puppies, they are getting flanked on multiple sides, and C9, they go in and they get their man.
I mean, when you've got nothing to sort of contest space on this high ground, because you're not running the D.Va, you're not running the Winston, it's absolutely terrible for you, because the Soldier 76, all he's going to do is sit up there and make your life a misery. Space answering back, Nesh gets obliterated, turned into little chunks of mincemeat with that Helix rocket, and it will be this first checkpoint going to Cloud9.
Well, Bazooka Puppies, they are coming back a little bit here, but yeah, C9 is going to do enough work here to get this much more in their favor. Even if a few people come back in the stall, it's just simply not going to be enough. Nesh turns the corner and goes, you know, maybe not, maybe not.
I mean, he lost the 1v1 anyway, there's the mic, but 5 minutes on the clock, Cloud9 rolling forward with not only ult advantage, but the momentum that's based off this, because Rubicon now is made the switch off. I believe he was running the Ana before, and now, we're going to see another pause. One of the players is gone. Again, you get to see our ugly faces once again. I'm going to keep making that joke just until...
Yeah. You've said that multiple times. Like, you know, like, I like just insulting myself, but now you're insulting me as well, and both of us by proxy.
We're in this together. Caster pairs, you got to stick together.
I just feel my self-esteem hitting new lows, and I thought I was already at the floor, man, so I don't know.
Man, oh man. Right, I mean, my time, you know, casting online tournaments and whatnot has prepared me for this moment. I'm ready to fill anything. ZP. Bazooka Puppies as a team, right? You said Nesh, that's the man. That's the star player. I'm going to start grilling you now.
Okay.
All right, this is an interview.
I want to be at your hamburger right now, dude. Just grill me. Let's go.
Grilled. Don't you worry about it. Nesh, man, do you feel like he's stepped up enough for the team? Do you feel like he's replaced the bad qualities that Kenzie was bringing? Do you feel like he's been paramount enough for them to win this matchup in Cloud9, or is this going to just be the Cloud9 show throughout this series?
So far, Nesh has been a really big upgrade. We've seen him get first pickoffs much more often than we saw from Kenzie. Yep. We've seen him have very good moments. However, he's not dramatically over what we've been seeing from Mikey, even if Mikey might be a bit of a downgrade from what we've noticed from Sinatra. Moreover, there are flaws that we've been seeing from the Bazooka Puppies in terms of both their tank play and support play. Tank play in terms of positioning and early pickoffs, support play in terms of questionable ult decisions. Where C9, by comparison, they've been much more consistent on both ends. So Bazooka Puppies right now, they're having trouble on multiple facets in this game, and it's leading to C9 ending up with what seems to be a rather clear victory right now.
Well, we're back in. You don't have to stare at us any longer. We can stare at the gameplay instead. We see Mikey, he's hiding in the sewers. He's just creeping. He's crawling. He's got the pulse bomb in the hand, waiting for his team to regroup and regroup into the streets phase. Now, Bazooka Puppies composition, they're running the traditional tanks. They're running the Reinhardt. Mez is going to be running that role. Mete is switched up onto the Zarya now. Or he's still onto the Zarya, just never really got too much charge from it. But doesn't even matter, ZP, when the kills are flowing in like this. Where is Meza going? He's going for a ride charging into the back lines.
That's not the tube. The tube station was over the other way. Don't never drive on the streets of London. But C9 right now, getting the kills they need here early on as Nevix piles on the blade, cutting through anyone. It's a triple for Nevix. And C9, Bren, they actually don't have that much further to go.
They do not. I mean, look at this distance. As soon as they get this second checkpoint, it is the danger zone for Bazooka Puppies, because then they don't even have to reach it to the third checkpoint. The time they've accrued off the back of it, 4 minutes and counting. Bazooka Puppies not even in any possibility, any option to try and contest that second checkpoint. In fact, they've even switched Meza off onto the Winston now for this final checkpoint, this final last push. Cloud9, all the ults in the world to use. Is it going to be enough? Ube says, not quite, as he just punches Mikey A right in the gobber.
Well, I think there's a dentist somewhere on this map, so it'll be fine. Mikey can get that fixed up. But C9, they don't care that Mikey's gone. They're going the sound barrier for sound barrier here, and it's actually working out. Nevix into the back line, looking for Ube, gets the support he needs. Ube is down, and C9, Bren, is still very much in.
Very much in indeed. You know, Space is almost built the Graviton Surge. The players are falling, and what a one-sided array we have seen here. The players are going to be moving forward, trying to keep them off the point. You know, Mete runs in as a Sombra player. Ube comes in from above, but this is going to be too little, too late. The Graviton Surge just for style points at the end of the day. Nevix, Mikey A, everyone using their ults, and it does not matter in the slightest. Cloud9 claiming map number 2. Boy, oh boy, that was relatively one-sided because they just ran through those streets.
Anything C9 wanted to do, they did. And again, I mean, you go back to how we were describing the match early on, is that Kings Row is definitely a map where your tanks and supports can put you over the top. And what we saw from that is that C9 was in full control the entire map, whether it be on defense or on offense. Bazooka Puppies, they were outclassed, period.
What is the weak link ZP, would you say, for Bazooka Puppies here? Because we've already mentioned it time and time again. We think, realistically, it's the tanks and supports, right? Is that the thing that we're really focusing on? Is it really all the Psycho Waffle show that's causing so many issues for this team? Or are there underlying issues that, you know, we need to delve into?
I mean, it's a team game, right? We could point to moments where Psycho Waffle definitely did not get his barrier off in the right time or got picked off early, but there were also engages from their tank front lines where Meta and Meza went in a little bit too early, and perhaps it's just coordination, shot calling, we don't really know. But no matter how you slice it here, is that they didn't get the engages they were looking for, and it was a problem.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, realistically, I think for the next few maps, we're going to be expecting at least a turnaround, potentially from Bazooka Puppies, but the way Cloud9's been playing, I highly doubt it.
Well, guys, if you want another look at the gun show, we're going to be throwing it back to the desk and those rolled-up sleeves.